It's time for your character to go from an ordinary world to a special world. And just a heads up, this is the best part of storytelling. Not only for the writer, but also for the audience, because this is where you get to let your imagination run wild, go crazy, and have a whole lot of fun. Roll that intro. Welcome to Writing Wednesday. My name is Michael Martin. I'm a writer and a coach for writers at Story Writer Academy. This is episode 7 of How to Write a Story Step by Step, titled Go, Crossing the Threshold. Now we're going to cover the best part of storytelling, for the writer and for the audience. Here is where you get to go nuts and let your imagination run wild. This is where you deliver the promise of the premise, the heart of your story. Just a bit of a recap: we established a protagonist, we gave them a physical and an emotional need, and we gave them a main story conflict that they're now going to respond to. They're going to enter an unfamiliar situation. We've seen their life gradually change over the course of the story, just a little bit. But at this point, however their life was before, it's now going to be completely different. Like if you were to take a side-by-side comparison of their lives before and after, it will be a stark contrast. They've left their ordinary world and have entered a strange and new special world. And it's where you're going to spend a huge chunk of your story, which is great because it's also the most fun part to write. This transition is important because stories are about change, and you show this change by how it affects your protagonist. Dan Harmon, creator of Community and Rick and Morty, describes this change like this. If your story is about a woman running from a killer cyborg, then up until now she has not been running from a killer cyborg. Now she's finna start. If your story is about an infatuation, this might be the point where our male hero first lays eyes on the object of his desire. Then again, if our protagonist is the object of a dangerous obsession, the infatuation could have been step 2, and this could be the point where the guy says something really creepy to her in the office hall. If it's a coming of age story, this could be a first kiss or the discovery of an armpit hair. If it's a slasher film, this is the first kill or the discovery of a corpse. The key is figure out what your movie poster is. The hook. What would you advertise to people if you wanted them to come and listen to your story? A killer shark, outer space, the mafia, true love? And I'll add to that, a school for wizards, since we're referencing Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. A School for Wizards was likely J.K. Rowling's movie poster for Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I mean, I don't want to speak for her, but I think that's a good guess. It's precisely why she spent a total of 5 chapters covering this milestone. 5 whole chapters from chapter 5 to chapter 9. Starting with Harry's first visit to Diagon Alley, to Platform 9 3/4, the Hogwarts Express, the Sorting Hat, Harry becomes a Quidditch god, and Harry accepts Malfoy's duel request. And, as I mentioned previously, this milestone covers everything from when Frodo agrees to take the ring to the Prancing Pony to meet Gandalf, to meeting the mysterious Strider, aka Aragorn, to the battle at Weathertop, to fighting the Lord of the Nazgul and getting stabbed by the Morgul Blade, all the way up to Rivendell and the Council of Elrond. In Black Panther is where T'Challa gets his new suit, he goes off on a mission with Nakia and Okoye, and they have the battle in the casino and the big car chase. So how can you apply this to your story? Well, I'd say it's the easy part. Seriously, you probably already have a billion ideas for this part. I mean, it's probably the reason you've started writing your story in the first place. It's what sparked your interest and your inspiration. But if it isn't all that for you, I can help you get started. The main question you should ask yourself is, what is your story about? What is your movie poster? And make sure your answer is in stark contrast to your character's ordinary world. The before snapshot. It doesn't matter how large or how small the scope of your story is. What matters is the amount of contrast between these two worlds. Because stories are about change. But also, while you're generating your ideas, take note of the iconic scenes from Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings that I mentioned earlier. Think about how easy it is to pick those scenes out of the stories. If you've read those books or watched those movies, you can easily visualize those scenes, because they have strong set pieces and ample conflict. And to jog your creativity a little bit further, let's take a look at some other iconic examples and try to imagine the scene and how its conflicts plays out. Terrorists attack a Christmas party and John McClane has the chance to literally save his rocky marriage. Neo wakes up in a vat of goo in a world ruled by machines. His ordinary world desire to be a hacker to fight the system will be put to the test. A suicidal boy starts seeing a therapist. We're going to find out why he tried to kill himself. Also, this is a good spot to start developing your B story. Your B story is often the love story. It gives us a break from the tension of the A story and carries the theme and often uses new funhouse version characters of your story. So go and have some fun with that and come back for the next episode, which is called The First Plot Point. It's the moment that everything changes for your character, he said ominously. Thank you for watching this episode. My name is Michael Martin and I'll see you on the next one.